resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Well, hello, my friend. Welcome to the Artist Next Level podcast. I am very happy to have you here in the show today. It's going to be an awesome episode. And the reason it's going to be awesome is because I'm going to share with you two short interviews, and I'm putting them both together in this particular podcast episode. Now, normally I don't do that. Normally it's just one. But this time they go really well together. They're both about marketing, and I think you're going to love them. Two different people that I will be interviewing in this episode, but I think you're going to find it very useful, and you'll see why it's a good idea to have them both in one and listen to both in one sitting. Well, just last week I had an opportunity to be at a conference that's called CarrotCon. It's a conference in Chicago for marketing agencies. And a friend of mine invited me, so I went. And my friend, I was blown away with the amount of information I received. And, it was pretty cool because two of my coaches were there as well. If you know anything about me, I love learning, and I'm always looking for resources for learning, trying new things. Marketing is one of those things that I really love. Of course, besides being an artist and doing this podcast and everything else that I do, curator and so on, I just love marketing. I don't know. It's just something I'm really interested about. Kind of weird, but I just love it. So I have invested in a coach for all my copywriting, both as an artist and also everything I do with my coaching services, as well as I've invested in a coach for all Instagram. And that's how I learned about it. That's how I grew my account as well. And, that's what I've been teaching now so many artists, from what I have learned, applying it now to, what I have learned from marketing and marketing with business now, applying it to their career. And that's what I've been teaching. And maybe some of you have been in my courses or have seen them, or maybe here in the podcast, you have heard some of the things I have shared. Again, these are things that I'm learning from all different, parts of business that I'm involved in as well. Well, in this conference, I had a chance to sit down with both of my coaches. So I asked them if I could do an episode with them for my Breakfast with Sergio show. So if you follow me on Breakfast with Sergio, you may have already seen, these two episodes, which that you're going to hear the audio part of them. So even if you saw them, I think it's going to be a great review for you to just check them out. The first one, which I'm going to share with you, is my interview with Andrew Purdum. So Andrew is my coach for copywriting, all things copywriting. He's awesome. He's fabulous. And he's going to share with us, the particular steps that you can use when you are writing copy, on Instagram or on your website or on your Facebook or on LinkedIn or email newsletter that you're doing as an artist. What you say matters. How you say it totally matters to make the connection between you and the person on the other side, or the people on the other side, your audience, right? So how you say it is wonderful. So Andrew provides a great framework that you can use anytime that you have to write any copy that you want to grab attention from, particularly a sales copy, right? If you are promoting something, even, if you're not selling something, but maybe like a show that's coming up or a residency program is coming up, or whatever it is, that's going to give you some great pointers. And then the second interview is also with my coach, Josue Pena. Josue is a fabulous marketer. He specializes on Instagram. He's behind some of the really big Instagram accounts with millions of followers and legit followers, not fake followers. And in YouTube, you can find him at Josue Pena Online CEO. And my friend, I think you're going to love it. You're going to like it. So let's start. And I want to first share with you my interview with Andrew Purdum.
Like the event, CarrotCon here, it's all about how do you turn cold traffic for people who have never heard of you, who've never considered working with you. How do you take them and promote to them and turn them into paying customers?
Right. So on this episode, we're going to talk about a little bit about how do we apply kind of what we're hearing here and what you already know really well to an artist, right? For example, as we approach our audience with our work, the way we talk to our audience in our work, maybe to a cold traffic audience, people that have never heard from us, have never seen us, what are the best ways to kind of present ourselves to them in the way in which we make our copy for posts, for emails, and things like that?
Great questions. Let me first say that there are 3 basic laws of selling. When we talk about copy, we have to first consider the way that people buy. The 3 laws of selling are, number 1, people do not like to be sold. They love to buy, but they hate feeling like they're being pitched. They hate feeling like they're being sold. Think about when you're at a car dealership, someone comes up to you and is like, so, how much you want to spend today? Like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I'm just kind of looking around. You don't like feeling like you're being pushed. So that's the first thing to consider. That's law number 1 of selling. Law number 2 is people buy things for emotional, not logical reasons. There has to be a deep connection to whatever it is that you're buying. There has to be a core emotion that you're trying to tap into, and they have to really feel that, and then feel that specific emotion being amplified before they're ready to make a buying decision. And then rule number 3, or law number 3, is they have to back it up with logic. So
I got you.
They made a decision like, yeah, I really resonate with it. Does it actually make sense to buy it? If it doesn't make sense, then they never will. So when we're thinking about copywriting and posts, the first thing we have to do, especially if you're an artist and you're selling luxury goods, is you have to make yourself really relatable. Being relatable and being emotional right off the bat, that is how you get people into your copy. This is what we call a lead. And when I'm talking about a lead, I don't mean like a prospect, like, oh, this person just signed up for something. A lead is your introduction into your copy. So yesterday we were at dinner and you told me the story of 2 brothers who overcome great adversity, and they were fantastic artists. And that really made me consider, wow, when we're talking about art, part of the value of it is not just what is this piece about, but what's the story behind it, and what's the story of the artist that created it. So if I'm working in luxury goods and there's a really strong, compelling, emotional story that the end user would relate with, I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to pull out the scenario. I'm going to tell it as if I'm the one that's experiencing it, because you want your audience to experience it as well.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think that's a great example, because as you are working with me right now, right? So I'm an artist, but so not being an artist yourself or working with too many artists, but when you hear that story, that pulled you in.
Yeah, exactly.
So stories have like this power to pull people into who we are and what we do.
Yeah, so for just like a brief example there, I've overcome a lot of adversity in my life, and so many people have. And when Sergio was telling me the story of these 2 brothers who had gone through various different situations that they had to overcome, I was like, wow, I really feel that. I really resonate with that. And part of good copywriting is writing in a way that helps people understand what you're trying to say. Remember, communication is not what you say, it's what people hear and what they feel.
That's good. So when we're creating a post, for example, say, okay, I want to introduce this new work to an audience. So it's a good idea then to share our story as well.
Yes, absolutely.
In some way or fashion.
Absolutely. So let me just give you a very concrete example of what I would do here. So let's say that theoretically, Sergio, he has got a new piece of art. It's about overcoming adversity, since that's kind of what we're talking about. Let's just stick with the theme. For illustration's sake, I would start off with a story. I would start off with the story of where I've been and what I've been through, and I would go along the lines of adversity. We've all faced it. We've all struggled with it. There's all these mountains that we have to climb. And there are times when we're going up that hill, when we're climbing up that mountain, we can't always see on the other side. We can't see the peak. We're struggling. It's hard. We got winters. We have springs of our life. But the reality is just as there are always winters in life, there are also always springs too. And that's why I created this work of art. I created it to inspire hope. I created it to remind you that there's a brighter future, that there's a better path, that even though things are really tough right now, there is hope for you in store. And that's how I would tap into that kind of emotion. And then I would start transitioning into, and when you order this piece of art, when this is hanging on your wall, you can be reminded of that. And then your friends and your family who are over visiting at your house or your office or wherever this work of art is displayed, they'll be able to see that. They can tap into that emotion too.
Which I love that, because then it doesn't sound like you are selling. It doesn't sound sales. It's like, hey, here's my art, buy it, 50% off, whatever, right? So you're introducing the person through a story, bring attention to you, the worker through a mutual feeling, right? As well. And then at the end, kind of like that transition, which you just maybe said really like, of, okay, this is how, when you have this in your home, you can think about those things, or it might remind you, or it might inspire you, or it might do those things.
Absolutely. So you have to be really emotional in your copy, and then start thinking about what we call benefits. So when we talk about benefits in copywriting, it's not necessarily like, here are the benefits you get when you sign up for a 401k or when you sign up for health insurance. A benefit is a tangible way that a life is going to be made better, and in copywriting we have to really appeal to those in what we call deeper benefits. Okay. So for example, for an artist, a benefit could be that when you have art on your wall in your house or in your office, and you bring a business contact over, they're going to respect and admire you. They're going to see you as someone who's well-cultured, who invests in his life and personal enrichment, and they're going to think, wow, I want to work with that person. And suddenly that piece of art isn't just for you and what you want in your own emotions, your experiences. It's also about improving your business, making more contacts, changing impressions.
Right. And what I like about that too is that in all this conversation or in all this copy, we're not telling people what to think about the art.
Right.
We're not telling the person this is the meaning of it, but rather, which I enjoy, is that I want the public or the viewer to discover what it's about, right?
Exactly.
To have their own conversation, come out of the meaning. So this kind of gives you a whole new way of working and writing about your art without telling people this is how you should think about what it means, because what it means for you, it might be something different to what it means to the next person. But you're still bringing attention to the work and to your story and to the value of it and so on.
Absolutely.
That is very good. That's a great point. Absolutely.
And one last thing I'll mention here. I'm going to give this away. I wasn't originally planning to talk about this.
Do it. It's conference day.
It's conference day, so we're all about
Giving.
helping people as much as possible.
Right.
Whenever you're writing ad copy, doesn't matter if it's a Facebook post or an email or a paid ad or a sales letter, there is a 4P framework that I always use. Most of the time, I've told you about this so much, yes. And he's actually implemented and seen tremendous results because of it.
Right.
But it's promise, picture, proof, and push. Now, your 2 Ps, promise and picture, they're about getting people highly emotional. So that's the story I talk about. It's tying to that deep emotion and that deep benefit that you're going to get. And then when you start getting into proof and push, that's telling people how they can take you up on an offer and how that they can buy now. And when we say proof, it doesn't mean like prove that it's art or that it's whatever it is. It's proof that it's the best solution for you and that it's what you need in your house or in your office or wherever your art's going to be. Right. So use that framework. You'll be able to structure your copy easier, and when you actually put your copy down on the page, you'll see it become more effective.
Right. For our friends who just kind of maybe they have missed those 4 words, what are those 4 P's really quickly?
It's promise. It's promise, picture, proof, and push.
Awesome.
4 Ps.
So 4 Ps, super cool, very useful. Well, Andrew, where can our friends find you as well if they ever need your services?
You can find me at Andrew Purdum. Just type me in. I always accept friend requests. You can find me at unveiltheweb.com or at andrewpurdum.com. In fact, if you go to andrewpurdum.com, you can actually download my free guide where I talk about the 4P framework in more depth. So just go to andrewpurdum.com. You'll be able to take that for free. I show you how to use it, and I know that's going to help you whenever you're writing any kind of copy. So you're going to want to do that so you can write it quicker, faster, and more effectively than ever before.
Right. And well, I'm a living proof that what you're teaching, it works, has worked for me really well, presenting my art, selling my art, particularly this year. Well, hello, my friend. How did you like that conversation with Andrew Purdum? I think that was pretty awesome. I think he gave us some great framework that we can use next time we have to write copy. Well, the next interview that I have here with you to share with you is with Josue Pena. Josue is the CEO of Online CEO. That's his company where he helps entrepreneurs, run successful Instagram accounts. He's behind many of the million follower accounts that you find on Instagram, and he's going to share with us as well some pretty good tips that you can use to grow your engagement on Instagram. Josue, you are the man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you tell a little bit about friends that do not know you, a little bit about what you do?
Sure thing. So, like I said, my name is Josue. I'm from Dominican Republic, and I started, Instagram and social media to become a professional soccer player. It wasn't even to make money or whatever. In a very short amount of time, long story short, we went ups and downs, and we have been able to build a multiple 7-figure business at a very short amount of time. And it's all been thanks to Instagram. And with that, we've obviously helped a lot of people like yourself. Right. We have dozens and hundreds of clients and success stories in different niches, languages. So basically the framework that we follow for Instagram, both for growth and monetization, works very, very well. And we actually have the largest network of art on Instagram. One of our influencers, so our company is called Online CEO, and one of the influencers that we have is Studio. He owns, he's the founder of the biggest art page of Instagram called Daily Art. It has 8 million followers.
Many times,
8 million followers, right? And we also have World of Artists, has 2 million followers, 2.3 something, right? Wow. So just between those two accounts, we have over 10 million followers in that niche of art. And so we have the biggest art network on Instagram.
Right.
So we're very familiar with art, and it's one of the best niches that you can possibly have on Instagram because it's very visual. People go on Instagram to pursue art, and it's that one niche that you bridge, that you reach all people from all class, like different social levels. If you will, like a rich person can appreciate art just much like a billionaire can appreciate art just like somebody that's like average, right? So it's one of those things that's just like a very huge opportunity for anybody to use Instagram to capitalize and make a lot of money with it.
Exactly. So Josue, you are the man. You know exactly what to do, how to do it, as I follow you, your every step. So tell our friends here, for example, what are some of the tips that artists can do today to be effective on Instagram using particularly stories?
Yeah, sure thing. So Instagram stories for like, people consume more Instagram stories than they consume the normal content on your feed, right? The normal feed, like the posts and pictures and stuff like that you upload, is what makes you grow. But what makes you sales is the Instagram stories. And we have created like a little framework called like 5-1-30. Basically, it works very well. Like, it doesn't matter the niche. Like 5 people who want to get this one result in the next 30 days. Now,
I love that because you shared that last night.
Exactly.
So
how do you apply this to Instagram specifically? Well, it can be something like, let's say for example, you're a painter, you're an artist, you're drawing, you have 5 eyes, or realizing like eyes, like or faces, right? You're drawing, and you can be like, hey, look, for this next, or you're a drawer, like a painter, and you create like people. Like, let's say you can draw me or somebody else. Let's just say you can say something like, hey, for this next week or next month, whatever, I'll have 5 more spots who want to get this awesome new painting at a discounted, and we can make it happen in the next 30 days, right? You can post it on stories. You show some of the testimonials, some of the previous art. You say, if you want it, DM me the word art, and we'll get you back over all the details.
Which is something I learned yesterday, which that was great strategy. Instead of using the swipe up feature.
Forget about the swipe up. Swipe ups convert, but the conversion rate is a lot higher on DMs than on swipe up. Like 10 times.
Right, and I think that DM allows you then to be more approachable.
Yes.
Get you in front of the audience. And
you can follow up with
conversation.
people. And you can follow up with people. Let's say, for example, if John right here messaged you and he didn't purchase the last month, then the following month you can say, hey John, we have a spot available. Would you like to take it? Or if John purchased the last month, you can say, message John again. Hey John, thank you so much. Like, I remember you purchased last month. Here's like another follow-up. Right now we have another spot available for this other piece of art. Would you like to take it? Right. So we use a tool, what's called like Social Potato. Well, you probably see it. I don't know if you can see it back here. There you go.
There it is.
That's
I signed up for it last night.
So we use a tool called Social Potato, and what it does is like allows you to categorize DMs and with a bunch of other stuff, schedule content, stuff like that. But this strategy right here with the DMs and stuff like that is actually being used by an artist, one of our clients. There are RXV rings. He's a 73-year-old, right? He's retired. He like makes like custom rings that are super like handcrafted, amazing craftsmanship, silver, rubies, like a bunch of stuff, like really nice. But what he does is he shows on the post the behind the scenes of how it's being done with time-lapse videos. He posted this stuff, and then on stories he sells. He says like, I'm making this new ring from whatever. We only have 1 available, or we're making only 3. DM me the word ring if you want it, right? And then he starts creating buyers. And he has people from all over the world, from Brazil. He tells me that the buyers that he has, and this is like $500 to $1,000 rings at the minimum. He's sold like,
which I love because a lot of artists think that you're only selling little things.
No.
Big amounts.
Yeah. So like this guy can sell all the way to $5,000 rings. Like $5,000 for something that you made in your house, like probably cost him like $100 to $200 plus. The time he spent into it that he loves doing is something very profitable. He's making like profit per month $10,000 right now, and the way he's doing it is with stories. And basically what he does is after somebody purchases, he then, hey, I have this new ring coming out. He messages the person who's a buyer already. He's like, hey, look, I have this ring coming out. I'm messaging you first because you already purchased from us, so you're getting like a little discount, like first hands-on approach. Would you like to take it? He has people that have bought 5 to 10 rings. And they buy every single month because they're repeat buyers. It's a lot easier for you to keep a client and keep helping and serving and selling to that client than to get a new customer. Because the first initial stage is the barrier. It's just like going on a date, right? If you go on a date, the first date, if it goes well, it's a lot easier to go on a second date. Right? So it's the same thing. It's a lot easier to keep a recurring client that already paid you, and you can keep selling stuff. So in art, that's what I would do. Just create something that's unique that people actually love. They buy it, and those same people that bought from you, if they like the previous stuff, they will buy again.
Exactly, and that has been my experience over the years as well. This summer I did a whole kind of like experiment with a new series of work that I wanted to sell it only through Instagram.
Yep.
And so the way the call to action was DM me, and the first inquiry will get the best deal. Boom. And I sold 90% of them. So really excited about that.
Exactly. So it works so well. Like use Instagram stories to be personal. Like show your face, talk to the camera. Right. I know it's like might be a little bit hard at the beginning. Actually,
I'm happy you're talking about that because a lot of artists think like, okay, I'm just gonna share something, but stories is about the personality.
Yeah, like you're hearing this video right now because I'm showing my face. We're talking, right? It doesn't matter if you can't speak English, right? Freaking my English is not perfect. I'm from the Dominican Republic. Yeah, exactly. Like Spanish is my first language, so it doesn't matter. Like just put yourself out there. Let's just say you're a little bit afraid. That's fine. What you can do is just record the actual art that you're saying while talking. It's going to give you the confidence little by little to then put yourself out there. Ruben, who's the guy, 73 years old. Again, 73 years old. Like who said that you cannot do Instagram at 73, right? 73 years old. And basically he wasn't comfortable in doing the camera. He started just sharing the art, video format, talking over it. Hey, like here's the ring, like this is how I make it, yada 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 yada. Now he's comfortable in front of the camera, and after months of practicing, but he's making like a ton of money, like $10,000 a month. Profit, not revenue. Profit.
And you have the whole story in the podcast form too, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I heard it. I went and looked up, and it's like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So it works very, very well. You can obviously do stories, do posts, and then how do you scale up? That's the question. Like how do you exponentially get more people? How do you exponentially get more people to find you and like buy from you? Well, you use what's called influence marketing. You can simply go to pages, for example, like Daily Art, like one of our pages, right? The biggest art pages, like the biggest art page in the world, or World of Artists, one of the biggest art pages in the world. You can just go out there and promote your art in those pages, and since you already know there's a target client, people like that stuff. People will go back to your page, follow you, but most importantly, the stories you will use your stories to sell to those people that's coming through. So basically, you have the influencer, Daily Art, a big page right here. You buy a promotion on here, they push traffic to your page, they follow you, and in your page, you will do stories to these people to sell. And that's how you scale up and go from there. Again, I'm sharing this example because it's that real artist that literally I just met 2 days ago. Ruben from RX of E-Rings. He paid $30 to another page, right? In the art niche, in his specific niche with the ring thingy, he paid $30. From that $30, made $5,000 in the same day.
Wow.
$5,000 sale in the same day from $30.
Right.
So you can do this like with a big page, with a small page, doesn't matter. I suggest you go out there and start implementing.
Awesome.
Because it's the one thing that's going to change your business and your art career forever.
My friends, now you see why I came to see this guy right here. Because Josue, you've been awesome here with our friends here at Breakfast with Sergio. Josue, how can our friends find you on Instagram?
Yeah, sure thing.
Your program as well,
Yeah, so we have our program. Well, company's called Online CEOs. You can go to onlineCEOs.com, or you just message us on Instagram with @Pena. At Pena, Pena. Well, obviously, you find me on YouTube, so you can just find us at Josue Pena or Online CEOs on YouTube too. And we have a lot of videos, a lot of free content. We obviously have paid programs as well. We typically like to talk to people to see which one is kind of like the best fit, because we like to work with people on a more hands-on approach, because that way we can assure that you get results the way you want to get results. So just send me a message on Instagram and we'll talk. Again, at Pena, and just let me know that you came from Sergio. Just let me know, like, you came from Sergio, and we'll hook you up. Like, we'll send you over. Actually, I'll send you over the free presentation we had right here at CarrotCon.
That's a great deal.
We'll send you over that free presentation, a couple of goodies, for you to start getting your first 100,000 followers. And then with this, like, we'll also talk to see how we can work more closely together and see how we can help and serve you, not only grow, but most importantly, monetize your Instagram account, and for you to dedicate yourself to what you love, which is art, so you can monetize your passion.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.